Hello everyone. I made a video response to Prophecy Channel, and this itself right now is not another response to him. But the concept of modalism is so disturbing to me that I decided I'm going to make a case against it, and that's what this video is. Basically, Prophecy Channel takes the view that the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit in the Christian Bible are all the same person. They're not three distinct people, or persons I should say, but the same person. They kind of take on, it's the same person taking on different roles or different modes, or you can think of a person putting on different masks, sort of. So this is my argument against that, I guess you can say. Again, this is not another response to Prophecy Channel. However, I might end up using it as a response to him later, perhaps in his response to my video response I already made. We'll see, but otherwise, here we go. Now, if you ever really want to understand who Jesus is, you have to study who Jesus thought himself to be, his own self-understanding. A good example would be in Mark 13:32. Jesus says concerning his return that no one knows of that day, nor the angels in heaven, nor the Son, only the Father. Now, this is interesting because a lot of people try to use this to say that Jesus is not God because he's ignorant of a fact. However, put in chronological order, Jesus thinks himself to be above angels and above man. This is also an interesting verse to use in the purpose of this video, because clearly Jesus is ignorant of a fact that which the Father is not. This would mean that if Jesus, or the Son, and the Father are the same person, then that same person is both aware of a fact and also ignorant of the fact at the exact same time. So it would seem here that Jesus thinks himself as not only above angels and above man, but also distinct and different in personhood from the Father. You also have in Mark 12, and I think it's also in Luke 11, maybe, the parable of the wicked tenants, or the evil farmers, or it's been called different things, but anyway, it's right there in the beginning of Mark 12, where Jesus reveals his self-understanding as being the Son, the unique Son of God, the heir, and the last messenger, and is portrayed as a separate person from the Father. So here we see that Jesus thinks himself separate from the Father, as two distinct people. Then you have Matthew 11:27, where Jesus says that nobody knows the Father but the Son, and nobody knows the Son but the Father. Here Jesus seems to think that he has a unique relationship with the Father, and that he is in fact the Son. We also see here that he thinks himself to be a separate person from the Son. There seems to be a distinction between two different people who know each other that nobody else knows. The verses that I've given so far, by the way, are considered as authentic sayings of Jesus by a lot of scholars for various different reasons, which I'm not going to get into because that's not what this video is about, and I've done it before in other videos, but just want to throw that in there. In Matthew 26:36, Jesus is praying in the Garden of Gethsemane, and he asks the Father that the Father's will be done, that his own not be done. How a person can have two different wills and talk to himself about it is really odd. Here we see that there's a clear distinction between two people having two different wills, and one asking the other that it be his will be done, not his own. Then we have the baptism of Jesus Christ, which you can find in Mark, I think chapter 1, and the other Gospels. And in that baptism, you clearly see that the Father shows up and the Holy Spirit shows up. Three distinct separate people. There's Jesus being baptized, the Father speaking, "This is my Son in whom I love, and I'm proud of," and the Holy Spirit coming down like a dove. So all three are together, separate. This is pretty clear. Then we have John 17:5, where Jesus is praying again, and he says, "Father, bring me into the glory we shared before the world began." So Jesus seems to think that before the world began, he shared a glory with the Father. If Jesus, the Son, is the same person as the Father, how can, they share a glory? It doesn't really make any sense. And then we come to my favorite verse out of this whole video, and that would be John 10:30, where Jesus says, "I and the Father are one." This is a much debated verse. Muslims talk about it, Jehovah's Witnesses talk about it, atheists talk about it, Christians talk about it, and I'm sure even a modalist could talk about it. The question here, though, is, does it mean I and the Father are one? Does that mean that they are one in personhood, or one in, say, purpose, one in essence, one in nature? What does it mean? So right about now you should see John 10:30 pop up here somewhere in the Greek. And in that Greek phrase you should see the word hen, H-E-N. That's the word there for one. And what that actually means is one in essence. It also, quite interestingly, specifically means not in personhood. That word, the masculine version, H-E-I-S, I believe it was. Yeah, I had to look this all up. It would be used if they were to describe personhood. The Latin version of the Bible here on John 10:30 also uses the word unum, unum. The Father and I are unum. That also means not in personhood, but in essence. If they were to want to say that they were one in personhood, then it would have used the word unus, unus, which is the masculine version of the word. The word used in both Greek and Latin is the neuter version of the word, and does not imply personhood as masculine or the feminine version would. So you could actually translate the Greek version of John 10:30 to mean, I and the Father are not one person, but we are one in essence. Now, another example to drive the point home of the word hen, H-E-N, being used in the Bible is Galatians 3:28, where it says, "There is no longer Jew or Gentile, slave or free, male and female, for you are all hen or one in Jesus Christ." Is a slave and a free man two different distinct people or persons? Yes, male and female, two distinct different persons. Jew, Gentile, two distinct different persons. They're all hen in Jesus Christ. And again, the word unum, the Latin word, is used here in the Latin version. We also have 1 Corinthians 3, verse 3, where oneness, or the word hen, is used to describe a planter and a waterer, which are two distinct persons. And that pretty much concludes this video. I could go into the Holy Spirit being shown to both be God and also a different individual person from the Father and Son, but I think I made my point, and that'd be that. So thank you very much for watching, and may God bless you all.